What is happening, Blades? And welcome back to the Blades Ramble. We are proudly sponsored by Action Coach Sheffield and Triple Point Brewery. So thank you to them for supporting the Ramble. I may not be my usual upbeat self tonight. Is that us done? I think that's us done, isn't it? When it's, you get a fit. So tonight's just been an absolute disaster from start to finish. So just to let you know a little bit about my night, I had to pull my daughter out of a football training early so I could meet kick-off time. Don't tell Mrs. Ramble that, but that's exactly what happened. I then dashed to Andy the Blade's house and got there just in time for kick-off, which was great. Or I thought I was in time for kick-off because it was just before 8 o'clock. But his legitimate service on which we watch the football was about 10 minutes behind play. So I actually got there at like 7:45 on what we're showing, even though it was 8 o'clock. So my phone buzzed straight away. Brereton Diaz 1-0. What? So we couldn't do it. Apologies to anybody that's texted me throughout the game. Anybody's put messages in the group asking me questions or wanting to go back and forth with me. I haven't had my phone on me because he took my phone off me because I kept looking and I couldn't take it out of my hand to see what were actually going on in real time. He took it off me and they were all taken out of the room and we had to watch the game not knowing what was going to happen 10 minutes behind everybody else in the real world. So that was bad enough. I don't even know if Sheffield United were alive at the moment. We don't like going up against each other, and this is my fault for not checking. I can't wait any longer to do this stream because it's 10:30 now. This is why I don't do a schedule for the Ramble, because sometimes you just don't want to come on and talk about it. And it's very rare that I say that because I love talking back and forth with you guys. But this tonight just feels like a nail in the coffin to me. And I know a lot will say we're already down. And yeah, we probably were. And look, it may come to Saturday and I may be up for it again and think if we get a win against Villa. But this just felt like, you get some games sometimes, some matches where you think it's just not going for us. We're not quite getting Robert Green. Well, I actually think you can feel that about a season. And that's not me being like, whimsical. I think it's genuinely, I don't think it's our year this year. If it was our year, the Luton game doesn't happen how it does. That you can go as far back as like the Tottenham game and the Man City game. But the Luton game for me, if Chris Wilder were going to be the one to turn it around, and I still don't think there's any better man to lead us than Chris Wilder, but those are the fine margins that actually swing in your favour. And the performance, and Eze does it to us every time he plays us. He loves playing against Sheffield United. What a player he is, by the way. But Eze and Elise were out of this world today and just unplayable. And we looked petrified every time they got on the ball. As soon as Elise went off, I thought we looked to the better team. Then Eze went off. I don't know how, as a player, you can't be inspired by seeing their two game changers go off. I don't know what the thought process, and again, I'm allowed to question Wilder. I don't know what the thought process was in starting Slimani, who's had a very poor AFCON, unless Andre Brooks has picked up some sort of injury or Slimani's a world beater in training. I don't really understand the thought process. But again, it's his prerogative. I thought Reece Norrington-Davis looked really good when he came on. I think Trusty was a little hesitant against Elise, but listen, when he's on that sort of form, I don't think, I think Prime Ashley Cole has a problem with him tonight. So it's tricky to criticise anybody. Gerbic, let's hope he's not, seriously injured. He was desperate to stay on, but with concussion protocol, you can't do anything but what we did tonight. You can't risk it because you don't know if you're concussed or not. And I'd rather we didn't, for the sake of one game, I'd rather we didn't do potentially long-term damage to any of our players. It's yes, it's a business. Yes, it's what we love. But people's health comes first, doesn't it? And that might seem extreme, but if it turns out he has got a concussion and he shouldn't have been playing, then it's unforgivable to keep him on. So, yeah, I think it was the right call to bring the snake, the rat, the cat, the dog on. Can someone explain to me the substitution rule now? Because we're allowed 3,000 subs in the Prem. So, joking aside, you get 9 subs in the Prem. I was of the impression that you can use up to 5 substitutes in a total of 3 phases. So you could bring 5 on in one go. You could bring 2 on, 1 on, 2 on if you wanted to. You don't have to use all 5, so you could bring 1, 1, 1 on. I'm also aware of the concussion rule, which is if we think a player's been concussed and we wasn't planning on making that substitution necessarily, you get a free sub basically because we're wanting to protect players. So Gribic and Wes, that would have a straight sub for concussion. So that doesn't count. You take that out of what we've done. So at half time, we brought off Slimani and Burton Diaz. Not quite. I'm wondering if Burton Diaz picked up a knock in that. There were a couple of challenges where it looked like he felt something. So that were 2 subs that came off. Who came on? Reece Norrington-Davis and Brooks. Right? Yeah, might have been. So yeah, liked that sub. No issues with the personnel or anything like that. So that was 2 bodies, 1 instance. Then Asula comes on for McBurney. Then obviously the Wes thing happens. There were another one which I'm forgetting, and we're always going to happen. This one I don't have any notes or anything like that. Larouci for Norrington-Davis. And then, so that was 3 instances. So that's your double, your single, your single. And I'm thinking, why? Why is he not bringing Cameron Archer on? We're a goal down. We need a goal. Why aren't we just going for it? We're bringing Larouci on as our last sub instead of Cameron Archer. Well, then 5 minutes to go in normal time. Hamer comes off. And Hamer comes off. I don't get that either. But and Archer comes on. So that's 4. How? I might have got the rules all wrong, but we had 5 instances tonight of subs, and Wes was forgiven. You're only allowed 3, as far as I'm aware. So, have we done something wrong that nobody's really noticed, or do I just not know the rules? Can I not keep up with them? Don't know. It's not really a big thing in the grand scheme of things. It's just, it's a sickener, isn't it? It's an absolute sickener tonight. So, we're going to go through people's comments as best I can. I'm not going to keep you longer than necessary tonight because we all need to get to bed, don't we? It is a school night after all. And I'm going to be back for a transfer deadline day special. And I'll be live then as well. And that'll be a late one probably as well. Well and truly down, says Chip Butty, and it's painful. No more done than we were before the game, says Dave. Rebuilding the summer for the future and enjoy what we can from the last matches. Life of a Blade 8. Up the Blades, up the Ramble. Top man. That's me done and hope gone, says Joe. Defence is shocking. No one throws himself at the ball to block shots. Saw McBurney do it once. Attack looks good, but very limited chances. I don't see a way back up the Blades. I don't see a way back, Joe. I agree. I think defence looks the weakest part of our game at the minute, which is criminal to say from a Sheffield United perspective, and also quite worrying to say that our attacking line is pretty much going back in the summer. Evening, Jimmy, says Daz. With Luton result, that's us finished, our kid. Our kid's there tonight. He'll be gutted, but next year we'll be strong. Let's hope so, pal. Evening, Jimmy. No, we're not done until it's mathematically impossible. Love that, Ian. Still think we'll get on a run at some stage. Just need it to start very soon. Up the Blades, up the Ramble. Top man. Well, you're all right, Jimmy. I've been convincing myself for weeks that we'll pull off a miracle, but I'm convinced we're finished now. Even more embarrassing when you see what's going on at Luton. 100% down, sadly. Yeah, I think we would have been a much similar case to Luton had Chris Wilder been in a bit early. And that's not a hecky dig. It's just in terms of the battling quality. We are so much better now. It's undeniable that, me and my dad were saying tonight, the performances are so much better. The results haven't got much better. And that's ultimately what it comes down to. But we're night and day from what we were, certainly in and around the Newcastle game. At least I know to thank now for me buying myself a new computer. That's I know. Hi, Jimmy. Just can't believe it, says Pete. 3-2 down, then subs at 63 minutes. We're going for it. 40 minutes left to play with injury time. 2 minutes in their box and 38 minutes passing the ball around in our box. Yeah, there was no urgency, was there, Pete? I thought exactly the same. Where is the urgency to win this game, take it by the scruff of the neck? A spirited performance as Blade Runner, but ultimately Palace's quality and pace was the difference between the sides. I hope that Burton Diaz isn't injured. Me too, pal, but I don't think Palace were any better than us other than 2 absolute quality Premier League players. I don't know where these balloons are coming from, but anyway. I think Eze could easily get into that England squad. And it's certainly the way he plays against Sheffield United. And Elise would be in and around that Man City squad for me, the way he plays. And 2 of the goals, Eze's second and Elise's goal, world class. You can't blame either keeper. Just, didn't watch the game. Heard the defence was terrible again. Lost all hope. Now bring on the Championship. At least we don't have VAR down there. That's true. Which players will stay for life back in the Championship? We'll just go through lineup that started tonight, just for time's sake. But out of those that stayed tonight, I think Gribic stays. I think Bogle stays. I think Anel goes. Trusty stays. Norrington Davis stays. Robinson stays. I hope to God Hamer stays. McAtee goes back. Vinny Souza, I'm not sure if we hang on to Vinny Souza. Andre Brooks stays. I think Asula stays. I think McBurney stays. I think, well, we know Archer goes back. So 9 of those involved tonight, maybe. It's not that bad. And obviously we need to finalise contracts for a couple of those as well. They battered us all game, even though we went ahead twice. I'm not sure about that, Chris, to be fair. Changed my mind about Anel from the phone in, take the cash and run. I agree with that. If it's true that Joe Worrell's available for £6 million, about 3.5 up front, we take whatever we can get for Anel. I don't care whether it's 15, 16, 17, up to 20. You take that, you buy Joe Worrell, and you either bank the rest or you go and you splash it on somebody like a Callum O'Hare for 10 million. Yes, he's out of contract to end of season, but we now have to build the best Championship squad possible, don't we? Evening, Jimmy and Prince Abdullah. I said the other day on the phone in that we haven't got the quality to compete at this level. You're right, Bri. And we can't defend. It's pretty much over regardless of who we bring in. About as bad as the stream I watched it on. That's Paul. Bloody hell. Without the dark side, probably won. Don't know what that means. Right. It's not over till the fat lady sings. Unfortunately, so she sung tonight and she sung her dang heart out as loud as possible. You know. Last 2 games have been like watching Ecky's team, poor and way too many mistakes. Came into the season carrying too many players who should have been moved on. Didn't have a chance with this team. Yeah, players aren't good enough, are they? I'm ever the optimist, but that's us done, says Justin. Embarrassing that Luton are making a better fist of things than us, but here we are. Was a must-win tonight, unfortunately. Is it too late to get a refund on Gribic? Oh, I think that's harsh. I don't think you can... Well, I think there were a couple of hairy moments for me tonight where he stayed on his line when I'd have wanted him to command certainly his 6-yard box, if not his area a little bit better. I don't think he can be blamed tonight for anything, personally. Love Wilder, but for me, he needs to stop making so many changes, keeping 11 and stick with it. Let's try and get some momentum going, ready for next year. Fair dues, Rob, and Chip Butty fully agrees. Tom says, hi, Jimmy. Sides taking pot shots and going in. We're playing half-decent football and hitting the woodwork. Liked Brooks in the Norwood tight roll, deeper and spraying ball about onwards and upwards, up the Ramble. Top man, Tom. I'm getting a bit fed up with this feeling of disappointment, to be honest, says Tim. I think we still have a chance, but now less than 1%. Wow. Yeah. The 2 quality players, Eze and Elise, destroyed us. That's the quality we're up against and can't afford to buy at the level. We are where we are because of that. Up the blades, up the Ramble. Me and my dad were talking about this, and Eze and Elise were absolutely the difference tonight. They are quality Premier League players, but they were both pipped from the Championship, weren't they? Eze from QPR and Elise from Reading, I think. Not astronomical money. I think Eze were 12 million quid. Elise might have been a little bit more. But there were at that time, and there probably still are, bargains to be had. It's just how you implement them into his team and into your system, a bit of stability. Doesn't matter who the manager is, we're terrible, mate, says Sabs. Wow. We were done after the 8-0. Probably, mate. We can still get out of this, but we need to start winning. Drop Ollie Mack and play Archer and Asula up top for more mobility. I think Ollie Mack played all right tonight. Can't say anything other. Even Andy the Blade thought he did okay. Said that through gritted teeth. But if we're going to play Asula or Ollie Mack and Archer up top in a 2, we have to change the formation, and we're not going to do that. I think Brereton Diaz showed tonight from his contribution from the first minute, which is all he did most of the game, really, to be fair. But that's all you need, isn't it? You know, a great goal. It was textbook Brereton Diaz cutting him from the left, his natural position, and scored. That's why we've brought him in. That's why he'll continue to play. But that formation forces us into difficulties elsewhere. Get rid of the whole back line. Honestly, they're letting us down so much. Wilder must bring in a centre back. It's depressing every game just knowing I'm waiting for the other team to score. Absolutely, Luke. Still positive. Chris Wilder's the man for us, though. Absolutely, he is. Absolutely right, he is. We're just a very poor Premier League team. So there's been some recruitment shocking. Eki should have a lot sooner. Should have gone a lot sooner, I assume you mean. Defence is mid-table championship. Got no one to control the game. Our last 2 attempts in the Prem have been a joke. Maybe the new goalkeeper has weakened us a bit because he doesn't show the defence as well as Wes. He doesn't know the defence as well as Wes. Need a bit of time to adjust. I think it's harsh to blame Gribic. I've no dog in the fight. I just don't think we can blame him. I can blame him for the last goal against Brighton. I can maybe look to point some fingers about the first goal tonight, but he's just misread it, hasn't he? And I don't think he's fully at fault for that. I just think it's a very clever goal from Eze. Not good enough. End of, says John. Should have changed things after we lost against Newcastle. I agree, mate. I agree. There were a few of us calling for it, but I admire those that were trying to be loyal. Absolutely shocking recruitment has sent us down. What growth have we made from the club since the COVID season? We're as bad as then, if not worse. Yeah, absolutely. I think we can recognise that as a club, though, Jared, and we're trying to right those wrongs. Whether we're on the right path to doing it, I'm not sure, but I agree. I think we've gone backwards to a degree, and now we're trying to rectify that. Like Norrington Davis, pace and power, absolutely right. Love Reese. A big upgrade. Need to get Gus on the ball more. His slide rule pings were great. Yeah, he can't defend though, can he? That's another thing. He's great in possession. He struggles to win the ball back. Battled hard. Elise and Eze, pure class in the difference tonight, undoubted. Absolutely right, Man Mountain. Top platinum Rambler for us. Thank you for your support, pal. Poor display. 2 good goals. They went through us like butter. We need some brick walls at the back. Very poor passing. We're colourblind. Yes, the Sheffield United way is on now. Oh, don't. I'll be in bother. Right, I'll be wrapping up very shortly because I didn't intend to be on long. So, what has happened is, the other thing I wanted to mention was Vinny Souza tonight. I think he was mentioned a lot on commentary. You could see that he was getting involved here and there, but he was standing off Eze. When they've got a number 10 playing that's as dangerous as he is, it is Vinny Souza's job to stop that number 10. He's the deepest of the central midfielders. Why is he not picking up Eze and following him around everywhere? You see, we're at the second goal. There's certainly a few chances where there's a good 5-10 yards between them. And Eze's got the freedom of London to run at Vinny Souza, who sort of drops back into a central defence position. No, you've got to be out at him. You've got to be closing him down. It's just, it's not good enough. Can we sack the players? They don't look bothered. If only. No, to be fair, they're just not good enough, are they? All done. CW is the man, but needs to start afresh next year. Starting with the defence, the non-existent defence. Elise and Eze destroyed us. Individuals could not stop them, and neither could we as a team. It's like having 2 elements on steroids. With Eze and Elise, it just goes to show you can build a team by keeping your assets. Fair point, John. Fair point. Well made. What a waste of 5 combined years in Premier League money and parachutes. That's what's so gutting. Can't argue with that, Paul. Can't argue with that, mate. Unfortunately, I think that's it. What has happened to our defending this year? Weak is an understatement. Strange team selection regarding Slimani. Roll on Saturday. Up the Blades, up the Ramble. We'll be there, won't we? And if we're not, you'll be there in spirit. Slimani looked very poor, well off the pace. I thought exactly the same, Rob. Didn't get it. Hi, pal. To be honest with me, it was the Luton match. Felt totally gutted after that. I feel the same. Gaz, top platinum Rambler. I don't see us staying up. We're scoring goals, but cannot keep a clean sheet. Need a centre-back ASAP. We need to think about how we transition forward. I think we probably will get a centre-back in, hopefully tomorrow. Can't play 10 days. Now he's gone off. Can't play 10 days. No, he's got. I don't know. We never win. Half time doesn't count as a phase for substitutions. Interesting. Thank you, Paul. Did not know that, my friend. You learn something every day, don't you? And today we learned both half time doesn't count as a phase and Sheffield United will be playing Championship football next season. We never win after getting an early goal. That's true. Maybe we should have gone 5 at the back after going 1 up when they've got Eze and Elise. Hindsight and all that. Season done now, I think. John is always the man of reason. Always has very considered and measured views on things. So you might not be far off there, mate. Heyman not at his best tonight. Usually he's moving the ball around, not so much tonight. Shame we couldn't get Brooks to give him support and free up the forwards. Thought Heyman's ball through to put Brereton Diaz through a great early doors. But you're right. I think you were a bit inconsistent today. Did Archer touch the ball tonight? I didn't see him on the ball at all. He got a knock, says Rob. He said on commentary he did get a knock. Oh, that's good. It's not good. Didn't mean it's good. It's reasoning for bringing him off. Let's hope it's just precautionary. New goalkeeper reminds me of Verrips. I thought exactly the same at one stage. Not during the games, but just like us gambling on a foreign keeper. Don't always work out well, does it? With 2 open, says Gaz. We must keep Wilder. Oh, we will keep Wilder. Don't worry about that, mate. We will. These bottom Prem teams, Fulham Palace, are Prem teams with a few Championship players. We're the opposite. Championship team with a few Prem players. I don't even know if we've got them, to be honest. Wilder working wonders. We're just too far off. Great bants. I absolutely agree with everything you've said there. Archer had a face like a slapped botty. Wilder turned, spoke to him, looked unamused, and brought on Asula. Yeah, it looked like he were doing a double sub, didn't he? At one stage, it looked like Archer and Asula were coming on. And then it just was Asula. Half-time subs don't count, says Tim. Thank you for the clarity, mate. You listen to Blades Pod, you'll know we've been down for a while now. Everybody has their own take on it. I don't listen. I haven't got the time to keep up with absolutely everything, but love Roy. Roy's a top man. Did a Premier League predictor, and it was finishing bottom with 26 points. I read that very quickly and thought it said I'd just finishing 26th in a league of 20. But yeah. Oh, dearie me. I'll take 26 points right now. Me too. Can't find any positives, says Si. Rock bottom. Best players will either be sold or returned to the parent clubs or out of contract. Lack of investment and shambolic summer has cost us. Defence not good enough. Investing some good fullbacks and a centre-back. Jimmy, I've been a Blade for a long, long time. It's either gut-wrenching or ecstasy. Rather that than that, though. You know, it's never dull, is it, being a Blade? Never boring, as they say. Absolute final nail in the coffin. Toss defence. Up the Ramble. I'll take the up the Ramble. Gumbo, goalkeeper looks world-class. Another monumental Wilder. Balls up, Gumbo. Oh, shots fired. Shots fired. After not even 2 full games, you're saying bring back Wes. Fair dues. We need some brilliance. Bringing in. They showed like they had up the Ramble. Top man. We shouldn't be having must-win games in January. Well, I know we shouldn't. You're right, Si. But that's what it was, weren't it? You and me were right, Jimmy. Michael Cooper, get him in tomorrow. I'd have gone for Cooper anyway. I can't judge Gribic. We've got Gribic in now, haven't we? I can't say he's a dud after less than 2 games. I didn't think he looked bad tonight, to be honest. Until he got his knock. Maybe the first. Don't be too harsh on the lads. I can't fault their effort. Most of them simply aren't good enough, unfortunately, says Mark. Would have been in the same situation if Wilder was in charge from the start. Incorrect. But again, mate, that's your opinion and you're entitled to it. And my opinion is we would be in a better spot if Wilder were in charge. Having said that, I'm not saying we'd be out of it. I just think we'd be in a similar boat to Luton in terms of giving everything we've got from the start of the season. We are much improved from the Eki reign, and I don't think that's debatable, but you may see it differently. Jimmy, no excuses. Wrong starting lineup, but what another poor refereeing display. But what a disgrace watching 2 or 3 of their players diving constantly up the Ramble. Yeah, we're used to it, are we? They're going down and, it's one of them things. It's playing the game, isn't it? Unfortunately, it's part of the game now. Keepers know better than what we have. 2.5 million. Oh, Mark, one of our Ramblers. Turning. You say, well, yeah, one of our Ramblers. You haven't got a little logo next to you. But yeah, anyway. Was some cracking goals tonight from both sides. That first half would have been top class for a neutral. Yeah, agreed. Should have brought the goalkeeper in from Rotherham. We can't write the ban off, can we yet? Yeah. All that extra time was painful up the Ramble. Why do you think Sousa and Hamer possibly go? Who'd sign them after this season? Yeah, that's a fair point. Hamer's proven to be top class in the Championship, so he was definitely worth a punt in the Premier. He hasn't quite done it at Premier League level, but I don't know. I think if we keep him in the Championship, then it gives us a hell of a chance next year. But you're right, who would back Sousa? I think if you saw a highlight package of Sousa, you'd want him in your side. It's just he's not doing it consistently, is he? No game plan, says Mark. We are better and we can do it, says Matthew. Let's be positive and stop all being so down. We can do it if things fall into place. Love the positivity, Matthew. I would love to join you on that positivity train, and I may well jump on it. I'm not quite there yet, not after a 3-2 loss. The only major mistake from Gribic was staying at the back post for their second goal. Yeah, maybe. I'm proud of my team, says Josh. Not one game under Hecky was I proud of the team. We're just simply not good enough. Nice to see us having a go at teams and actually scoring. Well said, pal. Well said. Joe says, I think fans are starting to realise how big of a miss the likes of Baldock and Egan are under Wilder. Egan runs that defence. I agree. I think when Egan comes back, you'll see a much improved John Egan and a much improved defence. I firmly believe what Egan was being asked to do was, listen, there's no excuse for the way how much he underperformed, but I think he'll be much better second half of the season. Still fight to the end, says Granville. Love that. 5 at the back when chasing the game. Why? Because they were getting out wide, and this is just my interpretation. They were hugging the lines and coming inside, and our fullbacks were then on the back foot. I think we went to the 2 wing backs because it potentially pushes their wingers back if we are in possession because we're going forward, and also we're a wider base. We've got 3 at the back. We've got a left centre-back that can come and help the left wing-back. We've got a right centre-back that can come and help the right wing-back. That's in theory. So it still didn't work. But I think that was the thinking behind it, Kyle. This was a must-win game for me, and now I'm convinced we're going down, but anything can happen, including miracles. Come on, you Blades. Love that, Mr. V. Another one of our platinum ramblers. Top man. Willingness, and to some extent, the fight wasn't there tonight. Basic things just weren't being done with enough vigor and passion, putting your body on the line with blocks, closing down faster. Yeah, I agree with that, David. Things that you'd expect from like a Jackie Robinson just weren't happening, were they? You weren't giving everything for the shirt tonight. Our relegation is on the board. What a shambles from start to finish and top to bottom. Haven't seen the game, says Dublin Blade, after I've just finished work. Lucky you. Was always going to be a tough ask to stay up. We've got good Championship players, but not Premier League standards. Start rebuilding now. This is what once relegation is confirmed, because I'm more convinced that it will be now. I think we're going to have a serious sort of sit down and think, what are the positives to take out of? Firstly, there's a positive to being, if you're going to be relegated, getting your head around being relegated early so we can start planning for the forthcoming season. So there's little things that we can look at as positives. Here we go. Wilder's out of his depth. Good evening, David. Oh, dearie me. Sorry, I didn't see those swear words that aren't welcome. Yet another defeat, and I'm now beginning to lose all hope. We needed 3 points. Maybe Eki could give us the 3 he got. Up the Blades, up the Ramble. New keeper in has let 7 goals in and could have done better on 1. Brighton's 5th. It's what's in front of him that's the problem. I'd say that's pretty much it for us now. 2 deep a hole to get out after the mess Eki has left us in. Absolutely poor defensively. We just lose our heads. Elise and Eze, pure quality, to be fair. Absolutely right, they were. Slimani is rubbish, says MM. Knew it was going to be a tough night when Slimani started over Brooks. I didn't get it. Has Mark Hudson made a comeback in our last 2 games, says Jared? Don't know. Yeah, he must be sneaking in somewhere. Got to sign Worrell or someone similar. We can't defend balls into our box at all, and we need a leader out there. Up the Blades, up the Ramble. Top man. Concussion that. Now it's a concussion sub. Is Otto out for 10 days? They shouldn't have taken a concussion, but they did. Also, is that part of it? Is that part of the protocol that if he goes off as a concussion sub, the price that you pay for that free sub is Gribic can't play for 10 days? Interesting. I don't know if I misinterpreted that. I think if Wilder was in from day 1 of this season, we'd be a lot better off. And I don't think we'd have Slimani. I like the look of Brereton. Onwards and upwards, that Derby record will remain theirs. Absolutely it will. No danger of that. Luton keeping a clean sheet against the team that slammed 5 past us says it all. That's it for me. Survival is a pipe dream. Sheffield United away, our friends over there. Thank you, boys, and sorry that we were on at similar times. First time I thought we were down. Luton winning so easily against the team we were hammered by. For Lord's sake, I can't stand watching Wes in net for Villa and Luton. Is this Chris Wilder sending a message to the board that certain players are just not good enough? Why else would you play Slimani? He was awful. I don't think... Listen, that's you can never rule that out because that is a Wilder trick, isn't it, that we've seen in the past. But what I can say, from what I'm reliably told, the board and Wilder are very much on the same page. Now, that may be a honeymoon period, but at the moment, they're all singing from the same hymn sheet, and they know Wilder knows who he wants to keep. He knows who's in his plans going forward. He knows who he doesn't think is quite good enough. He likes Slimani. And if he likes Slimani, then he likes him for a reason. He might just be out of form. He were a £2 million signing. He's an international footballer. It's low risk for me. And if he stays with us next season, then it may go well in the Championship. You never know, do you? You never know. But I didn't get picking him over Brooks at all because we've all liked what we've seen out of Andre Brooks. I know you get inconsistency from younger players, but I don't know. It was a strange one, that. Defenders closing their eyes and turning their backs on shots is illustrated not good enough for me. Nobody even puts a good tackle in today. Defence, poor keeper's glued to the line. Yeah, keeper is glued to the line. I agree. Jack Robinson, I mean, he lost his man for one of goals tonight, which, far be it from me to criticise Jack Robinson, but this isn't Wilder's team. The players that we are playing with now consistently is not a Chris Wilder put together side. It took him a while to piece together everything that he wanted to do. I think whatever division we're in, and it looks more likely after today that we know what division we're going to be in, it will be a very busy summer. A very busy summer. I fully expect big changes to our squad either way. And I'm delighted that it's Chris Wilder that's the man overseeing it. Gribich makes Wes look like Edison. Out of order, Tom Wild. Out of order. People need to give Gribich a chance. Thank you, Gaz. Being in the building less than a week. Completely agree. It wasn't awful, but the first could possibly be blamed on him. Yeah, I'll give you that. But what the hell is that defending? Claiming crosses and coming out quicker. Only the Blades can sign a keeper whose surname sounds like garbage. His confidence must be zero after conceding 7-2. Somebody put that in Rambler's chat. Gribich is Gribich. Made me giggle. I won't call you out, pal. At the end of the day, selling the best player your club has ever had, arguably before you have even started the season, is never a good sign of ambition from the club. We're not going back over that, are we, Luke? We're not going back over that. Surely. Why would we even try to get back up when the end result will be the same as this? It won't, though. I genuinely think, I don't know. Listen, we're looking 18 months down the line, aren't we? What we've got to do is get the best Championship squad we can together. Sousa and Hamer are the exact opposites. I agree. It's fantastic to win, but disappointment after disappointment. How much more can we take? We are down. The gap between the Prem and the Champ is massive. No truer a word spoken, my friend. No truer a word spoken. I'm hoping we're getting towards the end of these comments, but some of them have cheered me up a little bit, so thank you for joining me tonight. Absolutely sick of relitigating the summer. Oh, Ilian Burge had to be sold. We can't get 30 million plus walk out the door. If anything, they should have been sold earlier before the summer camp to reinvest quicker. Well said, Billy. I doubt any promoter clubs or lower table Prem clubs will want any of our players. Let's hope so, mate. I can see players Archer won't be our issue to worry about. I can see him at Leeds. I can see Gus Hamer at Leeds, which is a sickness to think about. But anyway, I can see Anel will not play in the Championship with us. We're in purgatory, top of the Champ, bottom of the Prem. That's right. We are. As long as we keep bouncing back up to the Prem, because you need it, don't you? It's all about the money. It's all down to selling our best players, says Al. It always will be. I'm sorry, but it's true. I keep on saying it. It's happened all the time for years and years. It will never stop. Until we do, then it's no hope. They wouldn't sign a deal to stay with us, Al. We didn't have a choice but to sell them, or they walk out for nothing. Yo-yo status is all we can hope for without new rich owners, but that's not a bad thing. We're staring League Two in the face before Prince Abdullah and CW came in. Purgatory is overly dramatic. Jeez. No, what it means is we're bouncing, aren't we? And it's not bad. I don't mind yo-yos as long as we get both yos. We don't just get a yo. Anyway, you can tell it's past my bedtime. Any news on the sale of the club? Nothing at the minute, pal. Nothing at the minute. Not that I've heard. That doesn't mean it's not happening, because I'm not going to be the first person Prince Abdullah calls when he gets an offer. But I haven't heard anything myself, pal, to be honest. Evening, Hilly. Hope I'm wrong, thinking keeper's not as good as Wes. Ooh, and Ella tell him tomorrow for 10 mil. Sula's not up to scratch yet. Needs a season or two in the Championship, and McBurney looked fantastic as well as Diaz and McAtee. So what do you think to this? Riley, who contributes to the Ramble with his statistical shorts, not shorts that he wears, shorts less than a minute clips. He tonight posted on Twitter, and I haven't had a chance to catch up on everything yet, but he thinks send a Sula out to the Championship now because he needs regular football at that level, rather than trying to build him up to the level of the Premier League, which he's not quite meeting at the moment. Get him some confidence, get him some goals, don't sacrifice his potential, I think you were saying, for the hope that he'll come good in the Prem for us. Interesting. Sad to say, we're basically what Norwich were before, a yo-yo club. Yeah, but look at them now. So if you don't keep that momentum going, they have fallen into mid-table Championship obscurity. So sure, we'll go up next year. Will we? I don't think that's guaranteed. That's the nervy thing about it. If you could guarantee me now that we'll bounce back up stronger next year, obviously we all take it. But I want to see a Blade side established in the Premier League. Sadly, better chance of Sheffield being blue. Chris, wash your mouth out. Not a chance. Hello, Jimmy. How are you? I'm very good, Harry. Thank you, mate. Hope you are too. I'm going to try and get to the end of this if I can. It's protocol with a concussion because it takes around 10 days to completely recover. Fair dues. That makes sense, and I'd rather we were sensible with him. Door on tour, gate crashing. Why are you crying, Jimmy? Lol. Thank you and goodbye, Ben. Oh, mate. Oh, you're doing well, pal. How did Forrest get on tonight? That might cheer me up. In Gribic's defence, didn't Hendo have a slow start out of the lane? I'll tell you what a goalkeeper he is. Yeah, he did. And he still made odd mistake, didn't he, as well? Brilliant keeper. Very busy summer in the loans, with loans or some financial backing. I hope Heyman doesn't go back to Coventry close season. No chance. Unless they go up. No chance. Apparently, he'll still have friends there. I'm sure he does. McBurney's got friends at Swansea. It don't mean he's going there either. Kyle Walker's got friends at Sheffield United. So if he wants to come here, that's fine. Is it now time to focus on next season? No real reason to play Archer, Burton Diaz. McAtee won't be here. Arguably our best players, but is it better to rebuild? I understand that thought process. The thing that the business side of the club will say, we have to try and achieve as many points as we can, because the higher we finished, there's a £5 million difference between 18th and 20th. So that's what they'll be aiming for. Thanks for another brilliant cast. Keeps in touch with the club. Disappointing result today. Up the Blades, up the Ramble. Thank you, pal. Thank you for joining me as well. Very much appreciated. I'm not reading that one out, Gumbo. Been down for a while now, says Robbie. Tonight just confirms it. Luton smash a side that gave us a pasting. Yeah, I don't think Brighton are all that, to be honest. I think they're a very good side and they played us off the park, but you can catch them on a bad day, can't you? Blades are going through a transition period. They'll bounce back sharper than ever. That's a thought. I love that, Blade Runner. Hope so, pal. Why haven't we seen anything of Sam Curtis? Understanding maybe a development player, but he's going to be in and around the first team. I won't be mad to see him in the squad, in the matchday squad, Connor. Do we try and sign Burton Diaz on a perm? Would he sign for us? I think he certainly would sign for us if we were in the Premier League. I think if he continues to show that he can score goals in the Prem, we will have a prayer of signing him in the Championship. Best we can hope for, I think, is maybe a season-long loan in the Champ, which would be amazing. But we'll see. He's fit like a glove, says Paul. He has. Down the left-hand side, any chance at all we can raise the funds to sign him Friday in the Championship? I agree he would. Gaz, I don't think there's any chance permanently. Wow, you missed my company, says Jamie. Don't know who you are, Jamie. I'm afraid my old mate. I'm not only on about Illiman. It's Berger, and any decent player we get, we sell them. Well, we'll be doing the same with Anel, won't we, Al? So I understand what you're saying. It's frustrating selling your prized assets, but there's an argument to say every club's a selling club. So we're in no different boat to anybody else, really. Jimmy, we have a rant. You do a great job. Keep it up the Ramble. Top man. Thank you, pal. Higher up the league, we can potentially get an extra 2.5 million. Promotion next season is 90 million. Yeah, I agree with that side, but yeah, I know what you're saying. Mate. But if that means we can sign another player for that extra 5 million that helps us with our promotion push, then it's a big difference, isn't it? Oh, Curtis is from the same area as you, Chris. Very nice. Good to know. Keep Wilder next season. I want Wednesday next season for a derby. Oh God, don't want Wednesday. Not at all. There must be a Tony Curry out there somewhere, says Action Location. If you can find him, let me know where he is. So thank you to everybody for joining me tonight. It's very much appreciated. As I said, we will be back next with a transfer deadline special. So I need to confirm the times, but on transfer deadline day, we will be live when it ticks over. So if Sheffield United are doing any business, this will be the place you find it. Thank you again to Action Coach Sheffield for supporting the channel. Thank you to Triple Point Brewery for supporting the channel as well. We will be there pre-game for the home game against Villa. So hope to see you all there. But for now, come on, you red and white wizards. Up the blaze.
Ramble on! Gustavo Homer into the top corner. Johnny Egan! What a goal from Jordan!